Hello, today I would like to show you what's in my personal opinion the best USB charger that you can purchase for your Goal Zero or any other off-grid solar power generator. I purchased it to give me ability to recharge all my electronics on my desk. With the Goal Zero we've got the AC output, but as you can see we are already using a 10 watts for the DC to AC conversion, and the regular charger that I already own are going to convert that AC into the DC, and we are going to get another loss. So for small solar system it is a problem. That's why I've decided to go with a DC to DC conversion. We've got a cigarette lighter plug. I can connect it to my Goal Zero. I can enable the DC port, and as you can see we are not using any power at all. I stuff it in and we've got a 0 watt of output, so having this plug in almost do not use any power. The power is so low that you cannot see it on the Goal Zero display, and I've got ability to recharge at 2 USB-C devices and 2 USB-A devices. Since it is a regular car charger, why I believe it is absolutely the best what you can buy for your Goal Zero, it is the form factor. And as you can see, it is divided for that part that you can have on your desk with this pretty long wire that is absolutely beautiful, flexible. I really love it. As you can see, this wire is so long that allow you to put the Goal Zero under your desk out of the picture and leave you just with that small part on your desk, and you can plug all your electronics and it works absolutely beautiful. The device is from company called Baseus and it can support 120 watts combined. The wire have a 150 centimeters, so very decent length. And here is the specification if you would like to take a look. It have a very significant disadvantage, very big problem that I'm going to discuss with you. So it's not going to be a good fit for everyone, but for me it is 100% okay and makes me happy. For tests I prepared those two power banks that are totally discharged. That one is reading a 1%. So it's going to get absolutely the best condition. First you might ask yourself why I'm not using the built-in USB ports on the Goal Zero. That port is extremely slow in compared to modern world. So if I'm going to grab a USB-A to Lightning MFI cable, I'm going to plug it here and to the Lightning port. Here you can see the power, and we are recharging this device by power of 10 watts, and this is a 100, almost 100 watt hour power bank. So it is absolutely too slow to get a good quick recharge overnight. Almost 100 watt hour. Keep that in mind. Over 10 hours. Or you might need a USB-C ports, so that's why I've decided to purchase that unit. Let's see our new device. So we've got two USB-C ports over here and we are going to be using them on our test. I've got power to the socket. We are pulling 0 watts. I'm going to grab a Thunderbolt 4 cable, and I'm going to plug it to our unit, and that go into the power bank, and you should read over 30 watt. So this is exactly what we would like to see, and we are powering this by a 8.7 volt. So this is a 9 volts at 2.8 amp. So we are sending almost 30 watt into that device, which is making sense because it is a 120 watt total. So each port can support up to 30 watt. So this is a full power. So that was designed for a car use, and that part go into the back seat. But as I told you, it makes a beautiful look on your desk. I'm going to grab my morp. I'm grabbing a USB-C cable and plug it in here. And we should double the power because 2 ports should pull a 60 watt, and this is exactly what we are seeing. So we've got another 2 ports that can support additional 60 watt, but I'm unable to test that because I do not have devices for a USB-A port. So as you can see, everything is working beautiful. So you might ask yourself why I told you that this device have a problem. So what is the problem? The problem is that this device is acting as a DC to DC buck converter. It's stepping down the voltage. If I'm going to feed it with a 12 volt, then at the output I can pull a 5 volt and 9 volt. I cannot pull a 15 volt or 20 volt because it is lower than the input voltage. This might be a problem for some devices like a laptop computer where you need to pull a 20 volt. You will not be able to pull that from a 12 volt cigarette lighter installation from a regular car. In the truck where you've got 24 volt, 20 volt output is not a problem, but for regular car this is a no-no. And of course we are going to test it. I'm not going to leave you without that knowledge. I set a 26 volt. I'm connected to the power supply. We've got a 26 volt at the output. I'm going to grab cable from that power bank and connect it to the back seat part. And now I'm going to touch the lead. So let me touch the lead. And as you can see, the charging process is started. We are pulling from the power supply. And guess what's the voltage? The voltage is a 19.5 volts. So this is a 20 volt charge. So yes, this charger support 20 volt, but from 24 volt installation. If I'm going to disconnect the negative, I will go into a 12 volt. I'm reconnect it. I'm reconnected to the power supply. We are at 12.5 volt, and at the input of the power bank we've got 8.7 volt at 2.8 amp. So as you can see, we are using a 9 volt system. You have to ask yourself, does lack of support of 20 volt and 15 volt from a 12 volt system is a problem? As you can see, for those devices is not, and we are pulling 100% of the stated power. So we are using 30 watts per port. You have to understand one thing: the problem I told you have absolutely no impact of recharge speed, and that's because with a 9 volt we are pulling exactly the same power. If I'm going to be using a 20 volt, I will just use a less current. It will always stay at 30 watt limit because that's the hard limit per port. So as you can see, in my personal opinion, with that separated cable, this makes an absolutely beautiful companion for my Goal Zero Yeti. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you find it interesting. See you next time, and bye bye.